Hi, this is Neha Gupta, and today in this YouTube video we are going to discuss about one more productivity tool. And especially people who hate writing and who generally think like how to identify their thought and emotions without actually getting into the writing thing. Here is something from me coming for you. So let's get started. I'm going to tell you about the 3 benefits of journaling, and for the people which think that journaling sound bizarre to them, I'm also going to tell you about some of the misconceptions how people in India perceive journaling. And at the same time, if you're a person who's new to journaling, I'm going to tell you about 3 things that how you could start journaling. So without getting much, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing is that journaling helps you relieve your bad experiences. People at certain time will question your ability. They will try to pull you down, and at that point of time, if you also bring worries to your mind and fill your mind with such kind of things, it will become very impossible for you to go into that level of productivity and creativity. So journaling, I'm not saying that it will change everything in your life, but as soon as possible you will acknowledge and you will accept the problems in your life, it will become very easy to get back to work. So that is the first. If you don't know, I'm a person who generally loves reading books, non-fiction books, and yesterday I have I'm in the mid of completing this book called Essentialism, which has changed my perspective about things. It is written by Greg McKeown, and the one thing which I can relate to journaling is that he has said that if you're a person who is having a problem in mentally turning off your work mode. I mean, for example, I'm a research scholar and I have designed an experiment. I couldn't be able to stop thinking about it. Even I'm in my home, I'm in my hostel. So at that point of time, at the end of the day, I should write something that what are the things I have to do. In this way, at the next day I will be able to be more creative, and I can spend my time at night or in the evening with my loved ones. Maybe it may be your family. A young teenager of our life, there are certain times we feel that there is a gap between what you really are and what you really want to be. Because of this gap, certain times you feel like a fraud to yourself. Gandhi ji ka ek thought yaad aa raha hai that happiness is when what you say, what you do and what you think are same. And second thing from which you will get benefited from journaling is that it will help you organizing your thoughts. Become your words, and your words become your action, and your action become your result. So ultimately it's very important to organize your thoughts. If your mind doesn't know that what to do next, so it will ultimately go and switch on the TV and waste your 4 to 5 hours in watching, maybe binging Netflix or doing something else. So it's very easy that your mind get trapped in all this. Even I get trapped in all this. So writing down that what are the 5 big things you want in this month, or what are the 5 big things you want in your life generally, it will actually change your perspective, how you spend your hours. It will change your perspective that how you will spend your day. If I say to you right now that write down the big 5 things you want to do this year, or you want to get them done, some people are like, what? I mean, we haven't think about it, or maybe we'll think about it later, but it's really very important. And I think I do one more thing, that what I do, I actually write down 15 points or 7 points that what are the actions I'm going to take for actually achieving them. So it becomes evident in my daily life that what the baby steps I'm taking to achieve them, otherwise they maybe not become evident, and I need the outer motivation. So if you do that, if you write your goals and also write down that what are the steps you are going to take to achieve them, it will become evident from doing journaling. At the same time, you didn't require the outer motivation, you yourself will become your motivation. So I'm gonna give you some scientific evidence. So the first evidence which I'm going to give you is that your mind has a right hemisphere and a left hemisphere. Okay, so your mind right hemisphere is responsible for the imaginative kind of thinking. So if you're a person who dreams a lot, who loves to think, your right hemisphere is dominant generally. What happens is If you only think about your goals and never write them down, you are only involving your right hemisphere. And if you write them down, your left hemisphere ultimately get involved. And between the right and left hemisphere, there is corpus callosum. This corpus callosum has billions and billions of neurons. I don't know the number, and neurons, and these neurons send the signal to each and every part of your body that this particular thing which you have written down means business to you. And from there, you're not only involving your right hemisphere, now you're involving the whole body, each and every part of their cell. So ultimately it becomes clear. There is another research from University of Texas who says that doing journaling not only increase your immune system, it will increase your memory, your consciousness, your sleep. And I don't know how, but I have also read this journal where they say that journaling improve your blood pressure level. If I'm a person who has low blood pressure level, I don't know how it is gonna improve my blood pressure levels, but definitely, if I have reduced or less anxiety, if I'm less stressed, that definitely going to help me to improve my blood pressure levels. So that's the second thing. So the third benefit of doing journaling is gratitude journaling. There is a tendency of us to taking everything for granted, and I'm going to again going in some kind of scientific concept called hedonic adaptation, but I will later come on that. Let's first talk about what is gratitude journaling mean. No matter in what situation you are, you're not satisfied with your job, you're not happy with your relationships, and maybe whatever it may be, but your life is epic, your life is important, so writing down about those things which are glorious in your life, and you will be able to relive those experiences. I have seen a lot of people who get stuck in an event that has happened 20 years ago, and they become a toxic person. Generally, forgiving a person who doesn't deserve to forgive help you not to become a toxic person. It has helped me a lot seeing things differently. And okay, so now let's come to this term called hedonic adaptation. What is hedonic adaptation and why are you not happy? These things are interconnected. So hedonic adaptation is a general tendency of human beings to taking things for granted, which we generally do a lot. And it's that when you achieve something, there is sudden influx of happiness in your life. And I, as a teenager, when I'm in my 18 and 19-year-old, I also think the same, that if I achieve this thing, I will be happier. If I achieve that thing, I will be happier. So there is sudden influx of happiness, definitely. And then over a period of time, maybe a year, a month or so, we, again come to that level of happiness and even lower level of happiness, because the amount of damage we have caused to our relationships, our body, because of that. So okay, I'm again talking about a research in University of Texas. The scientists have said that out of the 100% of the happiness, the 50% happiness depend upon genetics, the 10% depend upon the outer circumstances, and the 40% depend on us. It is in our influence. And here comes the term called hedonic adaptation. Just think about it. You are watching my video right now. That means you have your internet connections and you can get the wisdom of the world, and you have food in your belly. There are unlimited things to thank of, but we take these things for granted. You have electricity in your house, you have a beautiful house, irrespective of if it is just 2 rooms big, but still it is, for many people it would sound bizarre. Who does that? Who write their feelings? But what I do when I feel mad or frustrated, I pick up one thing. For example, I pick up my house and write 10 things I'm grateful for, like the cozy bed which I have, or the curtains, or the parents which I love the most. They are in my home, I am in their home. So these things, those people who are suffering from depression or anxiety, they have this sudden outbreak of stress. The people, if they utilize this technique, this journaling technique, it will definitely help to get control and increase their level of mental and neurological and emotional level. It will increase their happiness. Okay, this is all about the benefit of journaling. I'm going to tell you now 3 things that will help you to start doing journaling. There are certain misconceptions which generally people in India think that journaling is a diary kind of thing where small teenager girls write in the diary, and they just will also felt that planner is journaling. Planner and journaling is 2 different things. Start your journaling journey. How can you do it? So the first thing is that you can do it whenever and wherever. Yes. I mean, part of the thing is that many people don't start doing journaling is because they think that they have to do it daily. I mean, why? I mean, it's not the assignment of your school, it's not your homework that you have to do it daily. I mean, I do it whenever I feel like doing it, whenever I'm very happy or whenever I'm very frustrated. At that point of time, my mind has a lot of emotions which I generally don't know how to control. So at that point of time, if you start writing your thoughts, there will be a couple of hours and hours and hours you can write. So at that point of time, you should do this whenever you feel like. It's not just that we will take a 30-day challenge and we'll do daily, or we'll do 21-day challenge and it's not like that. So I consider it as a tool for personal development because it will help me release my negative emotions, as well as it gives me a time to listen to myself. It's a podcast that you are listening to yourself. So give it a try. Second thing is that how to do journaling is that just keep no rules. Just no rules. I mean, you are not aiming for perfection, you are aiming for progress, and you don't have to be, you don't have to give transition between the paragraphs. There is no need to have a certain size of font or something. You just have to be honest with yourself. And for me, journaling is to relieving my things in my mind and just to spill or vomit my thoughts on the notebook. That's it. I mean, it is not going to give me stress, so you don't even think about it, that what you're writing. I mean, if you cannot do it for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, there's no problem. You can do it for 2 minutes whenever you feel intentionally emotional at that point of time. And I'm a very visual person, so I like to make illustrations instead of writing sometimes that how my life is going to look in the next 5 years. So I draw also sometimes. It just depends on me what I like to do with my journal. It's you and your journal, it's between them. There's no one anywhere. So third thing is that many people think that what if somebody reads their thoughts and their thoughts are safe in their mind and they don't feel comfortable in writing them down somewhere, and what if somebody reads? So at that point of time, I would say that ask for privacy. And initially what I do is I generally devise some codes for some words or some pseudonyms that nobody will going to understand. And if you really enjoy the process of journaling, I mean, there will be no looking back. You will definitely be able to write it down. There are many research which has going on in the last decade that how journaling is therapeutic and meditative for your body, and especially if you're a person who wants to do meditation but who don't understand that how to do it, starting journaling can actually be a first step towards mindfulness. So I hope you find it helpful, and if you're watching my video till now, I also think of actually helping you in some or the other way. If you want to start, and if you don't understand how to do journaling and how to start, actually you can visit my Instagram channel. You can get the link name here, there, or there, maybe whatever. I totally understand that it is not possible for you to carry your notebook everywhere, and I am using a digital tool to doing journaling whenever it is not possible to carry my own notebook, because my notebook is a little bit big. But I generally recommend people, if they are starting doing journaling, using a very short notebook like this much of size, which will be easier for them to carry it anywhere. Apart from them, I mean, using a digital tool for doing journaling make it much more easier, because in that you can search things anytime and it is much more faster, it is editable. But generally I like doing it on the physical books, because it is much more meditative when you write with your own hand. And also because in my last video you have given me a lot of love, so I'm featuring a comment from my last video. And if you haven't seen my last video, I will mention the link in the description box. You can watch there. And in my next video I will feature another comment, so you can actually say hi, because I generally like to connect with people. So, and you can also share your thoughts about journaling in the comment section. All for today's video. And if you like me or this video, you can subscribe to my channel to get more videos. And if you want me to make any specific video on some specific topic, you can mention it into the comment box. Don't forget to follow me on the Instagram. And this is me, Neha Gupta, signing off. This is me.